You want peace, but no matter what you do, you can't find it. Well, today we're going to work with the maiden archetype and we are going to find out what is holding you back from inner peace. What is keeping you from peace? Let me do one thing before we begin. This is to help my ADHD brain not get distracted. All right, awesome. If you're new here, welcome. This is Maiden Mother Crone Tarot. If you are returning, welcome back. Before we get into this message, I wanted to tell you about the energies that I was working with when I was shuffling the cards, settling into the space. And on my way here, I saw 2424. What is going on with the light? Sorry, guys. It's so bright. It's like crazy right now. But anyway, 2424, maybe bright lights. When the sky gets like this, it's really overcast and super like gray, very bright, but gray. It hurts my eyes. So maybe you've been having headaches. Maybe your eyes are sensitive right now. Whenever we're doing a lot of processing in our nervous system, sometimes the optic nerves can be really sensitive. So if that's happening to you, be very gentle with yourself. Cold compresses, stay very hydrated, stay out of the light, rest yourself, okay? And then over the weekend, I met so many people from so many different countries. So I met someone from Haiti, someone from Brazil, someone from Norway, someone from Russia. So maybe you are doing some traveling, or maybe you just have like a lot of international friends that could be significant. And then when I actually started working with the cards, I got, before I even started, I was like, okay, I really need to ground. I have a grounding pad here at the office and I didn't have my feet on it. I was like, I need to get grounded. And as soon as I said that, when I picked the deck up and I started shuffling the cards, 2 cards fell onto the floor near my grounding pad. And one of them was the Knight of Cups. And then the other was the Queen of Pentacles. And then as I was working with the cards, just checking the energies, the Queen of Pentacles popped out again. So she came out twice. So groundedness is going to be very important for this inner peace that we are looking for, what is holding us back. And then the Eight of Wands, Justice, and the Wheel of Fortune popped out. And then I kept thinking, what is holding you back from inner peace? What is holding you back from inner peace? I kept thinking that. And I heard in my mind, yourself. Okay, so we'll see how that plays out in the message. But I always like to give you guys the energies up front. If you're watching the replay, you can always 2x the speed when we're going through this next couple steps, or you can click the timestamps below to get where you want to go. But before we begin, just because I just really feel like we need it today, we're going to do some breath work. We are going to breathe in for 6 through the nose. We're going to hold for 2, and then we're going to breathe out through the mouth for 8. We will do 3 rounds of this. This will really help you shake off any of the stress of the day, help you ground into this message, connect with this message more, help you connect with yourself more. Okay? Are you ready? Let's go ahead and begin. Very nice. While we were doing that, I actually thought another number that I saw on the way in was 68. I saw that probably 3 times on the way in, so I forgot to mention it and write it down, but that could also be somebody's angel number. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. Maiden, what is keeping or holding this collective back from inner peace? What are their next steps? What can help them align with the peace that they carry within? What's holding them back, please, Maiden? 3 cards, please. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, that one. Oh, that's more than one. So we'll take this one. She gave us the Knight of Cups again, the Wheel of Fortune again, and Death. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. So these are the ones that I decided not to take, but 2 of them, these 2, came out in my pre-work. Knight of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune. Awesome. And then we got Death. On the bottom of the deck, we have the Three of Swords. I'll show that to you in just a minute. That Three of Swords. For some reason, it reminded me of an eyeball. I'm not sure why. Maybe you have an eyeball tattoo? Totally random. That's what just came to my head. All right, the first card we got is the Seven of Cups. Got Judgment. And we got the Devil. Of course, we got the Devil. Okay. How this message will work is I'll go ahead and read this message from the Maiden, and then at the very end, we will pull a card from this Vegas nerve deck. So really help you regulate your nervous system. They have some great exercises. I did take out the previous cards that we have used already, just because I like to keep fresh messages coming in for you guys on that deck particularly, not the tarot. All right. So what is holding you back? What is keeping you from inner peace? The Seven of Cups starting us off. And I just saw the Three of Swords, and it reminded me of 37. So maybe you're 37. Maybe you're born 1973. I don't know. It's just popped into my head. I don't normally get numbers that way. So what I'm seeing here is there's so much going on in your life. So up here in the corner, we have like these planets. So that can speak of just world events, what's going on everywhere around you. But then we also have some creatures. So but there's like a snake and something here. So that reminded me of like Earth, things in your 3D reality. Here, this reminded me of like someone singing in a church choir. So like spiritually, you have things going on. You have a person up here. So that reminded me of connections with other people, especially with this Three of Swords on the bottom of the deck, being like heartbreak and pain, right? But the way this came through to me is like all of these things are happening, but they are taking up space in your brain. Like you haven't released them or processed them or dealt with them. And so they're just holding all of this space in your brain. Space that you need to be able to feel peaceful, right? If you have your mind constantly racing and constantly running, it's impossible to feel at peace. Trust me, I understand that. I went on a girls trip this weekend with my sisters, and my schedule got a little messed up. I love keeping a same schedule. It just helps me function as an ADHD woman. But even though I wasn't able to meditate as much as I wanted to, right? I meditate for my spiritual health, for my mental health, for my emotional health. Even though I wasn't able to do that, I never ended up in this state. And that's because it's been a practice for me for so long. And you get to a point in your life where you start treating life as a meditation, right? Where you start quieting this and you stop following all of these cups. You stop thinking, okay, well, I have to think about this and I have to think about this and I have to think about it. You stop it, right? You can't start the thoughts when they come up. That's impossible. But you can take ownership of your mind, of your mental space. And you can say, you know what? This is too much. I'm not going to follow this thought. I'm not going to think about the past. I'm not going to think about the future. I'm going to be here. I'm going to be here in this moment because that is where peace resides. In this moment is where peace resides. Okay? And with the next card being Judgment, your soul is like, look, I know where the peace is. But you won't get out of your own way. You won't release all of your attachments to your ego, to your personality. You won't release your attachments to the stories of the past, to the pain from the past, to your hopes for the future. You're too busy living in a million different places in your head. Peace can't exist if you're not in the present moment. Because peace is literally your soul. Your soul is constantly at peace because your soul is not influenced by any type of pain that could have happened in your past, any of these cups that we talked about earlier. The soul is infinite. The soul is formless. The soul just is, right? And that isness is the peace, because it helps you understand that if you follow your soul, right? Connect to your soul, become just what your soul is, the witness, the observer, then you feel this calling. You feel this calling that's saying, hey, get out of your mind. Your mind is holding you back. And like what I wrote down, grasping on my notebook here for the Four Pentacles, because it came. Did I tell you that the Four Pentacles came out? I don't know, but it's the thumbnail. So the Four Pentacles also came out. And when I was looking at it and kind of thinking about it, I was like, ooh, that's like very grasping energy. So you're like grasping at all of these cups, trying to manage your life, trying to manage all of the things that you have going on. And your soul's like, no, this is enough. You have got to let go of your attachments, to your chains, to all of the things that are keeping you bound and keeping you stuck in this place of suffering, right? When we want peace, the reason we want peace is because we're suffering. You know, people that are happy don't want peace. It's people that are hurting, people that are suffering, people that have lost hope. They're the ones that want peace. And it can't be found by repeating the same mental cycles that we play in our heads. It can't be found by repeating the same behavioral cycles that we play out in our life. But those behaviors are coming from these thoughts. And until you take control of them, you're not going to be able to change your behaviors. Okay? Because these can run in the background in your subconscious and control what you're doing without you even paying any attention to it. We're just coasting along our lives, not living it, just repeating the same day over and over again. It just looks a little bit different because we are not taking ownership. We're not listening to our soul. We are not connecting to our soul and saying, I am peace. I am love. I am presence. I am here now. Right? I'm going to pull the guidebook and read this devil card. Just kind of felt like I should do that. There we go. All right. So the devil card is our shadow self, right? All of the traits that we carry that we're not proud of. And there can be a lot of those too, right? That can be very overwhelming, very overwhelming. But like I said, you're not those shadows. You're not these thoughts. You're not this body. You're not this suffering and this pain and this hopelessness. You are the soul. And the soul, it can't be bound. Oh man, there was a guy, I don't remember who he is, but he's been on Next Level Soul a few times. He's like the out of body, what do they call it, OBE expert or whatever. And he said something one time, and I loved it because he was talking about people that say like that they went to hell before they went to heaven in their near-death experiences. He said those people had a mental construct that they thought they deserved to go to hell, right? Because the soul cannot be contained. The soul is always free. The soul, none of this energy, none of this energy. Okay, this also represents attachment, addiction. Yeah. Addiction can keep you out of peace for sure. But when I was working with my pre-work and we had the Eight of Wands and Justice, it's justice for your soul, justice for your body, justice for your family, releasing any type of addiction that has kept you chained to a reality you don't want to experience anymore, one that doesn't have peace. And sexuality is the other thing for this. So another important piece. Oh, this is so good. I'm glad I read this. So the devil symbolizes our shadow self. This includes the limiting beliefs and critical voice inside ourselves that stall our journey, holding you back, stalling your journey. Four Pentacles, you're grasping, you're staying here in this place, and makes us feel unworthy or incapable of achieving our dreams. When this card arises, the reader is being encouraged to confront and question their inner saboteur that is holding them back. That's literally the name of this reading. What is holding you back? And I said, yourself. It's your inner saboteur. You don't believe you deserve peace. But that's the thing. Peace is your natural state. It has nothing to do with deserving. The soul's not broken. The soul doesn't need to earn peace. The soul is peace. The soul is love. The soul is all-encompassing and expansive. It's beautiful. These beliefs feel real, but are in fact a mirage, hiding our true power. Yes. Oh, and then there was a song I was listening to this morning that I wanted to mention in, I put it in my notes. The lyrics were, universe, show me how good it can get. Show me how good it can get. I'm releasing doubt and placing my bet. Show me how good it can get. Yeah. And it's all about power. Part one of another lyric in the song is, if I'm powerful, show me. Asking the universe for proof. Show me proof that I am powerful. It is a mirage. Everything is a mirage. You are powerful. Peace is you. You can be peace at any moment in your life. Now, how do you do this? How do you become peace? How do you feel peace? How do you embody peace when you have kids screaming? When you have your manager being a royal thing I can't say on here? When you are dealing with conflict in relationships? How can you be peace? Now, one thing that I have started doing with my kids that has been so helpful, is when they're screaming, instead of listening to the scream, and I was inspired to do this by Eckhart Tolle because of the way he talks, and whenever he's presenting, he speaks very slowly and has very intentional pauses because it draws your attention to the pause, and that is the spaciousness around the words. And so what I thought, I was like, okay, Eckhart teaches this way, so maybe there's a way I can apply this. And what I do is when my kids are screaming and freaking out, instead of focusing on that piercing scream that just makes your body go, oh, I focus on the space around the scream, the pauses between the screams, the space around them whining or crying or asking for something, the spaciousness of that. And that really helps me stay centered and grounded. So you can try that. But breath work is always a good thing to do, right? Another way to become peaceful, to become centered, right, is to go outside. We talked about grounding at the beginning. I will die on this hill. Go outside and sit under a tree and touch the tree. Okay? Go and lay on your back and feel the grass under your hands and look at the sky. Look at the clouds. Breath work. If you can do it while you're outside, it's even better. Breathing. I'm going to start doing a lot more breath work on the channel, and the main thing is just becoming aware of the breath, right? We can be so intentional and have all these fancy breath exercises, but count your breaths. 1, 2, 3. And that just ushers in stillness. And stillness is where you find the peace. Stillness is where you find, I'm sorry, I keep seeing signs and it's getting on my nerves, and that's why I just roll my eyes. Stillness is what brings you peace, okay? That's where you find the peace, because the soul is still. The peace is there in your soul, waiting for you to find it, waiting for you to release all of the chatter in your brain, waiting for you to release all of these limiting beliefs, all of this toxic thought patterns and behaviors that you could be doing, and to slow down and say, you know what? I am going to listen to my soul. I'm going to go find my soul. I'm going to be intentional, and I'm going to go find my soul right now. Soul, help me find peace, and ask for help, right? No one wants to ask for help. And trust me, I am the pot calling kettle black there. Okay, I get it. But we really need to, because we have free will. We can't get help unless we ask. They can't intervene. Okay. All right, now we're going to pull one last card from the vagus nerve deck. Spirit, can you give us one card to help this collective tap into their inner peace, to connect with their soul, to embody peace and walk in peace as they live, so they can stop letting their selves, their thoughts, their behaviors, stop letting that sabotage them, please. And thank you. All right, head press. This is a nervous system regulation technique that facilitates the body's shift from a state of tension to one of relaxation and safety. What did I just say? How are we going to find peace? Okay. This is achieved by relieving pressure in the neck and throat area, promoting a sense of ease. That makes sense. Yeah. So you're going to lie on your back in a peaceful environment. How about under a tree looking at the clouds? Place your hands behind your head, interlocking your fingers, right? To gently cradle the back of your head. Apply gentle but comfortable pressure into your hands by pressing your head slightly backward. Okay. Yeah, so you're not pressing with your hand. You're going to press with your neck, right? Keeping your head on the ground, gently lift your chin upward, right? Without straining your neck. Gentle movements, slow movements, intentional movements. Move in a relaxed and controlled manner. I just say, allowing your body time to adapt to the stretch. Pause with your chin tilted upward, taking slow, deep inhalations and exhalations. Release the pressure, returning your head to its original position. All right? Head press. That's so beautiful. I love that so much. All right, guys. That's our message for today. If you have any reading ideas that you would like me to cover on the channel, please let me know in the comments below. I'm always, always happy to do that. And as always, please remember, in this channel, come as you are and stay as you become. Bye, friends.